Greetings, agents. Welcome back to Tabletop Anthologies. I am Severian. I'll be your handler this afternoon. We're continuing our scenario, Last Things Last, here in Delta Green. I'm going to go around to each agent here, give a little maybe description of what your agent looks like, just a refresh since it's been a little, a couple weeks or something since we've been able to play this. So starting with Turg playing Agent Kingpin.
Yeah, so Kingpin, he's doesn't got a lot of meat to his bones. He's got green eyes, black hair, and I guess not very he isn't very engaged in what's happening. He's just here to get himself out of some trouble.
All right. And we've got Dex playing Agent K. And Agent K is also muted.
Okay. Agent K is bald with a light brown beard, sporting a vest typically with multiple tools or papers within it, kind of stuffed very neatly within the pockets. Average height, and tends to have an air of decency to him. He always has a straight back and talks to everybody with a decent bit of respect, unless he's not shown the same.
All right. Then Alpha Wolf Zero is playing Agent Kenrich.
Agent Kenrich is a tall, salt and pepper haired man, a little bit stocky. And then he's always standing with some sort of an inquisitive posture. Seems to be very inquisitive. I guess I don't know. I can't think of anything else to say right now, but yeah, that's it.
All right, no problem. Then last we've got Tabletop Tony playing Agent Crypt.
Agent Crypt is a very Patrick Warburton-looking fellow. You might have heard of him. So he's got a very defined jawline, short brown hair, very eyes that scream, "I'm gonna get this shit taken care of." He's an FBI agent, as the other agents have been made aware of, and he's not worried about his personal identity being leaked necessarily as much as the rest of them, as he is a very sophisticated and a very professional individual. However, I jumped into a septic tank full of shit and piss.
Yes.
So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, and as a reminder of your operation... it is. I'll get to that. As a reminder of your operation that you're on here, the directives you were given. Proceed to the residence of Clyde Bowman. Remove any evidence of Delta Green's activities. Bowman's errors are expected within 48 hours. Make sure everything is clean by then. Involve no one else in this operation. Meet in the same conference room in 48 hours with a report. That conference room being in a Cleveland post office. Where you had met with an Agent Kennedy to get your briefing. And lastly, if you find signs that Bowman violated Delta Green security, report them. So following your briefing, you went to Clyde Bowman's apartment, found many documents that you had combed through, and the only thing that you could really find is that there was a sort of a missing piece of information. You found that there's a cabin he owns out in the woods in southern Ohio. So traveling to that cabin is where you very quickly, after a short stop at Denny's, of course, at the cabin you found in the back of the cabin. You haven't actually looked in the interior of the cabin yet, but behind it you found a shed, an outhouse, and a septic tank, oddly enough, which... You guys quickly put together that septic tank shouldn't really be needed if you've got an outhouse. And the septic tank itself seemed to be much larger than what this size of cabin would require. After opening the hatch, which was already uncovered, there was a mound of dirt next to it, as though it had been uncovered maybe within the past year or so. You found that there was a voice inside of the septic tank calling for help. Claims to be Marlene Bowman, which is Clyde Bowman's wife. That is when Agent Crypt jumped down inside, gun drawn, flashlight out, and that is where he sees Marlene Bowman. Marlene herself is huddled at one of the ends of the septic tank, which, by the way, is 6 feet deep, 6 feet wide, and 10 feet long. So it's basically a big tube down in the ground, and she's at the end, one of the ends of that tube, huddled over like this, and looks up at you. And what you see on first glance is that she looks like a small, somewhat misshapen, nude woman in her 50s. Her flesh is gray-blue. Most of her hair appears torn out. Her hands are blood-stained, the flesh on her fingers partially stripped away. Her feet and lower legs are swollen from frequent immersion in water. And I'll remind you again, this tank is mostly empty, though there is maybe 6 inches of murky water in the bottom of it. So it seems as though this tank wasn't really even used. Upon seeing Marlene in this condition, nearly corpse-like, Agent Crypt, I need you to do a sanity check. Success. No sanity lost. Or I take that back. 1 sanity lost.
Yep. All right, I got my gun drawn, flashlight. Right, I'm kind of like, I had my finger close, probably on the trigger, ready to do something. But now that I see her in her state, I put my finger off the trigger, kind of like one of these. Instead of this, it's one of these. And I detach the flashlight and I pop it up on one side, and now I'm looking, like flashlighting up and down, you know, and I'm slowly approaching. Marlene, is that you?
So she remains huddled over, but has her face turned to you, and says, "Yes, please just help me out of here. My husband, he trapped me.
How long have you been down here?"
Where were we?
She was Agent Crypt.
Yeah, I had my gun out to detach the flashlight. No, I was about to shoot her. I popped the flashlight and looking her up and down. I asked her. The last thing I asked her was, "How long have you been down here?" As I'm slowly approaching.
I've been down here for years. He did some sort of pagan ritual, and he wanted me to be a slave, and it didn't work. But it did something to me, and now I'm down here.
Have you been eating anything?
No, I've been down here for years? I don't know how long I've been down here.
Right. What's your birthday? As I'm approaching her, I'm just trying to see if she remembers these details about herself. So what's your birthday, Marlene?
I don't have that information, but she gives you a birthday.
Make it up.
She gives you a birthday that does seem accurate.
Okay. How many relatives do you have? Do you have any kids? Any family?
Yes, we have 2 kids, and Clyde. I don't know where is Clyde up there still. He hasn't come by in some time.
Is Clyde your husband?
Yes.
Clyde's under our custody at this time. We were checking his cabin to see if there's any additional information we could acquire, and well, we found you, Marlene. And now at this point, I'm closer to her. Like I'm closer to her than I am the exit.
Okay.
So at this point, I wanted to.
Let's cut back to everyone standing up above. What's everyone else doing?
Yep.
Well, I'm still hunched down. My flashlight's still in the entrance. I'm still definitely looking at Winchester. I don't know what the guys behind me are doing.
Okay.
I'm just waiting on his ass to get back up here and tell us what he's seeing. Obviously, he hasn't screamed. No shots have fired. He seems fine.
You do have talkies, so.
And you'd be able to hear pretty much everything that's being said echoing out of the opening there that you're standing around.
Actually, I'm actually gonna sit up and look behind. Oh, sorry. What were you saying, Kyle?
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna actually sit up behind me and look towards my 2 compatriots. If you guys could hurry, find something, some sort of rope or something. They're not going to get out of there by jumping 6 feet. I'm gonna stay here and remain here if he needs assistance down there.
Just to refresh, don't we remember that it looked like the ladder had been removed from the septic tank?
Yeah, that's why I was saying we need a rope.
Okay.
Yeah. It's 6 feet up. I mean, you can climb in and out.
Okay.
It might be a little difficult, but you can do it.
Well, I don't think we're gonna be the girl probably not gonna be climbing out.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we need something to pull her out or something. So a rope or a different ladder, something to get her out. Because even if she's like malnourished, she's still gonna be at least 100 pounds, or slightly less maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So then we'll go back into the tank. If anyone standing up above wants to do something at any point, feel free to interrupt. But back in the tank, Agent Crypt, you're approaching Marlene.
I'm halfway to her right now. Like, Marlene, can you walk towards me? Can you get up and walk towards me?
She slowly starts like standing up fully, still kind of huddling a little bit, but turns and starts walking towards you. And you notice that the way the flesh on her swollen limbs kind of sways and sags, it looks like it's about to literally just fall off. She absolutely looks like a walking corpse.
Oh, God.
Seeing this, I pull out my gun.
What? Did you see her?
That unless you're like dipping your head down in there with a flashlight, you wouldn't really be able to see.
I thought that's what I was doing, was just watching.
That's fine then. If at that point, then Agent K, you need to make a sanity check.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm just looking for where sanity is. Okay, I found it.
I'm gonna get on the radio as well while he's doing his sanity check.
Did it go?
No, it didn't.
You'll have to refresh probably. I don't see you actually listed in Foundry.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back.
So I'm gonna get on the radio. Agents, I have a weather one of those weather blankets in the trunk of the car. Can you grab that, please? She's in terrible condition.
Well, I kind of just look at him like, I can hear you just fine.
Well, you were watching the fucking tank, so I was hoping to get one of the guys that are like, further away from the tank to do that. Closer to the car.
Yeah, I gotcha. Whatever.
Okay.
All right, so it sounds like Kingpin walks over to the car, which is on the front side of the cabin.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go look for a ladder or a rope or something.
Okay. Where are you looking for that?
I would assume that if a ladder was removed, that it wouldn't probably be too far away. Probably like maybe behind the cabin or near the shed or something. So that's probably where I'll start my search.
Okay.
Okay, I lost 1 sanity, by the way.
All right. Yep. You lose 1 sanity from seeing that. You keep it together, but again, you see that she looks like a walking corpse, essentially. Agent Kenrich, you aren't able to find any sort of ladder necessarily, but you do find there's rope within that shed there. So Agent Crypt, as Marlene slowly hobbles towards you in that murky water, you notice that her demeanor, she's in a state of high alert, which doesn't really line up with the whole situation here. She doesn't seem quite as defeated as she seems, and there's a strange disconnect between her speech and her facial expressions and mannerisms. It's unlike anything you've really ever encountered. Agent K, you would only be able to tell that something is very strange about her, but I mean the overall situation is strange. There's a strangeness abound, but you don't really notice anything to the extent that Agent Crypt is.
Okay,
So,
okay. I'll just be, since he's
that-
in there, I'm just gonna be waiting to see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, on that, I'm actually backing up as she's approaching me slowly, not to make any sudden movements, so to speak. But
Sure, she probably just thinks you're clearing way for her to get to the opening there.
Yeah. Come. Be careful, Marlene. Watch your step. We'll have a blanket ready for you. Are you cold? How are you feeling physically?
I don't feel much of anything, but I've just been in here for so long. Please just help me out to the air, and I need air and light and maybe some food. Maybe that'll help things.
Of
One
course,
second.
maybe.
She said she's been here for years and she hasn't been fed, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's gonna immediately. I'm gonna red flags at that point. Well, I already took my gun out. Yeah, never mind.
I'm already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the same thing with me. It's like she says she's not eating. Again, this is definitely supernatural. She said she had a pagan ritual, but I don't want to assume that she's going to be hostile until she shows signs of it. So I have my hand on my gun, Doug. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I am ready if she snaps. But so when she said this, you mentioned that her facial features don't match. So when I ask her this question, I'm kind of like shining my light, not close to her, maybe not in her face per se, but I want to see what her face looks like. Like, what her outer eyes look like. What like looking into her eyes, what does it look like?
Okay.
Facial features.
Give me a human roll.
Okay.
All right, pretty good roll. So looking into her face, her eyes are sunken, very, very deep bags, like all the way down pretty much to the edges of her mouth. The same with the rest of her face is just sagging really deep. Her eyes sink way back into her head, and there's expressions to some extent under there. You can see the muscles moving and expressing as she says things. But just something about her eyes, she seems very alert, very aware.
Okay. So, God damn it. So now I feel like we are we're closer to the exit of the septic tank than we are farther away, right? So at this point, she's still kind of moving forward slowly and surely. I still have my gun. I'm gonna take off my FBI jacket.
Okay.
And I'm going to approach her like I'm going to put this FBI jacket on her and cover her up.
Okay. So Agent Kenrich, you've returned to the hatch and you have the ropes that you found. Agent Kingpin, you've returned to the hatch and you have the emergency blanket. Were there any other supplies you maybe wanted to find within that car?
No, I don't give a fuck. I was given my orders and I did it. I grabbed it. I walked back up. I'm like trying to fold it back up because it wasn't folded for some reason. I'm like, damn, you're all prim and proper with all this other shit, and you leave this thing unfolded in the back of your van. Here, take that. And listen, that pagan shit, it's bullshit. That was just some bad speed. I've seen this before. She's coming down off some bad speed. Just get her up here and we'll figure it out.
Anyway.
On seeing him lower his weapon to actually try to get the blanket or whatever on her, I'm going to raise my weapon, but not like but just much more ready.
Have it ready. Yeah, I understand. So you approach her and she keeps her eyes on you the whole time as you put the jacket on her, and she accepts it. You kind of brush her skin a little bit as you're putting that on there, and it feels really loose, and you're sure if you applied any amount of pressure to it that skin on her limbs would just slough right off.
Okay.
But she has the jacket on her, and she hobbles over towards the entrance and starts trying to look up. Agent Kingpin and Agent Kenrich, are you looking down into the hatch to see what's going on with Marlene and Agent Crypt standing below?
I mean, at this point, yeah, I threw the blanket down and I'm just standing over top. I'm not sticking my head down in like K here, but
okay.
I'm just looking.
So Marlene hobbles over to the hatch entrance. The moonlight comes down through and shines on her, and you both see that walking corpse-like woman. So Agent Kenrich and Kingpin, I need you both to do a sanity check. That was a close one.
Actually, here.
Just click on SAN is what you can click on.
Right.
Yeah. The very top.
Should be
right.
at the top. Yeah, top.
Oh,
right.
I see it now. Yeah.
Yeah. HP, IWP, and SAN.
I rolled it. Did it roll?
No.
I do not see it. Oh, you're going to have to do a refresh as well, it looks like.
Okay. Got it. Doing it.
All right,
ASAP.
so Agent Kenrich, you're able to keep it together. What are you doing with that rope you found? You lose one sanity from that, by the way. You keep it together, but it's still horrifying to see the state of this woman.
Okay. Yeah, I think I already lowered it by 1. Yeah. So I lower it down, and I kind of like give it some slack and back up a little bit, and I probably take out of the kit that I had nearby, like a little hitch or nail, something like that, to go into the ground to kind of tie it around it, so that way they can pull on it without it coming out of the ground.
All right, sounds good. So what's the next move here? It looks like also Agent Kingpin, you keep it together, losing 1 point of sanity.
So, what I'm thinking, and hear me out if this makes sense or not, but with that blanket, I'm going to take that blanket, I'm going to lay it flat, right? I'm going to try to lay her into the blanket, and I'm going to try to wrap the blanket around her, so that like we can, and then sailors not tie the blanket like shut, and then pull her up from the other side. Does that make sense?
If you're any type of federal agent, you should easily be. It's a typical hammock, so you should easily be able to do that. I think.
That's what I was thinking. Some kind of hammock-like thing, so we can like pull her out without lifting her up or actually putting any force on her. I
feel like that's very scout-like. I feel like you were a scout. You were an Eagle Scout, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So you were an Eagle Scout.
All right, for sure.
Yeah, you're able to do that, rig that together, and you start pulling her out of there. You of course get this murky, nasty water just all over the place on you and on her, although she was already submerged in it for quite some time now. So she's pulled out of there. You're all able to see her now fully above ground here, and she's now just sitting on that blanket in the woods here behind the cabin and kind of rocking back and forth a little bit, looking between all of you.
Before I leave, I'm taking a flask and I'm filling it up with this murky water and I'm sealing it.
Okay.
Taking it as a sample. I'm going to test it at the lab.
So now that she's above, what'd you say her name was? I'm looking through our notes.
You should be able to see it on the token. It's Marlene.
Oh, Marlene? Okay.
Yeah. And that does line up with the information you've been given, that Marlene is Clyde's wife. Though she is believed to be dead. I think it says that in the initial handout you were given.
Yes. Okay.
So it's your show. What are you doing, agents?
Marlene, I barely caught that. Did you say you were down there for a few years?
I think so. The hatch was closed for so long. I don't know.
When you were first put in there, what year was it?
It must have been 98.
And full of shit. You're full of shit. This one's got some bad speed. I'm telling you. No one's been in a fucking sewage tank for 3 years. Kingpin.
Oh yeah, Kingpin, right? Tony.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's just tense. Agent, please save it for the interrogators. It's not our job. Right now,
seeing her. Get 1 second here. So seeing her out here now, and getting to see a full view of her like this, Agent Kenrich, you don't really notice anything additional, but Agent Kingpin, you also see that strange disconnect between her speech and her facial expressions and mannerisms, unlike anything you've seen before. So now even you're not sure if it's, related to some drug use or something like that. It's there's definitely symptoms of that, but it's something else too.
Kenrich doesn't notice any of this, so what he's doing right now is off to the side, and he goes, "Ma'am, does this mean anything to you?" And he begins to draw out a symbol with a stick on the ground in front of her, and it's of a ancient Native American ritual symbol on the ground is what he's trying to do, to try and see if there's any connection between her saying that he did a pagan ritual to the symbol that I'm drawing, or something similar to that.
Okay, and what does the symbol that you're drawing represent? So I know whether or not there's some connection.
Like death or something like that.
Oh. Seeing what you're doing, I'm just gonna hold off for a moment and see if she has any reaction to it, but I'm gonna play off what you're doing.
Okay, and Agent Crypt, did you climb back out of the tank as well?
So after I grab the murky water, I send the tank, and then I try to rinse off somewhere if I can with whatever I have, maybe a hose or a some kind of water pump.
Sure.
To wash my hands
we'll
off.
say there's probably a water pump nearby out in the exterior of this cabin. So you're doing that while everyone else is gathered around Marlene.
Yes, but before we end there, I just want to also grab my leftover Denny's and see if she wants any of that. That's all I have. That's all we have. So.
All right. So we'll have you doing that while Agent Kenrich, you draw that symbol on the ground and ask that question, and she looks at it for a second, kind of leans closer and says, "Yeah, I think that was one of the symbols. There was a whole circle he drew on the ground, and he chanted things, and there were symbols, and he sacrificed some animals, and it was awful."
The sacrifice of animals.
Were there sacrificing animals? No, continue. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You said there was a circle. I'm assuming many symbols, correct?
Yes. I don't remember them all, but that there were many of them. I can't remember if this is something we talked about out of game or in game. Did we find anything with like question mark symbols that, like the yellow sign type thing? Or did we see anything like that? I can't remember if we did or didn't. No, you didn't.
Okay.
You haven't looked inside of the cabin yet, and in the apartment you didn't find anything.
Okay. I couldn't remember if we talked about that or found that because it's been a little while. Can you remember any more of these symbols you may have seen?
I can try.
No point to do that now. Will you? Let's get you some food and sit you down for a little while.
All right, and that's when Agent Crypt shows up with the leftover Denny's, and so I'll let you take it from there.
Marlene, please. I know this isn't much, but try to eat some of this. And I hand her some sausage and bits and pieces of pancake, probably bagel.
All right. Yeah, she takes it and she starts trying to eat some of it. As she opens her mouth, slowly, you see very few teeth left in there, and you even see as she takes a bite of something, one of those teeth comes loose and falls onto the ground.
Oh dear.
Party foul.
Marlene, were you in the middle of this circle by any circumstance? Is that where you were placed during this ritual?
Yes, there were. I couldn't leave the circle once he started. There was something trapped me there.
Where did this ritual take place, Marlene?
In the cabin there, and she lifts her one of the crooked fingers on her hand up and points to the cabin.
And then I just look around to Agent K and Crypt and Kingpin, and I'm like, Well.
I
Well,
wanna before we all go, I wanna gather everybody and like everyone come here. And then as they get closer, I wanna say don't take your eyes off her. We don't want her running. If she even can, that is.
running.
You don't know. Look at her. This, depending on what we find in that cabin, this might be a gigantic breach. We go in there, weapons drawn, and extremely slowly and carefully. You all understand?
Can't leave her alone out here. That's not an option. So who's
Obviously,
staying?
we can't do that, but we need to investigate this immediately. If a breach is this heavily going on, we need to do something about it before we leave this site. And I don't know if you realize this, but I kind of like nod towards her. She herself is a breach. You need to either bring her in or do away with her.
Agent, we're gonna bring her in, obviously.
I kind of just like nod towards everybody, like making sure everybody understands, like we need to figure this shit out right now.
Where are you talking about this, by the way? Like standing right next
Oh,
to
away
her?
from no, away from. That's why I brought them all close, like go away from her. Like that's why I said like to nod towards her, like make sure she doesn't get away. I'm not saying this in front of her face now.
Okay. She does, while you're all grouped away from her a little bit, she stands up. She starts to stand at near the end of that conversation. And look has a bit of an unsure look about her, like not sure what you guys are doing.
Hey! What do you think you're doing?
Are you taking me away from this place?
McAllister,
Yeah, hold your damn horses. We just got here, haven't we?
McAllister, you seem to have a slight rapport with her since you got her out of the tank. You
McAllister?
No, it's the wrong one.
I think that was
Sorry.
the name on my goofy badge.
Sorry. Winchester.
I'll stay with the lady.
What? So
I'll stay with the
hold
lady.
on. So you're going with the lady. You're staying with her.
That's
and
right.
then us three go into there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
go. Have fun playing PO.
All right. So anyone that's moving to the cabin interior, go ahead and on Foundry move your tokens to that zone.
I took the middle spot because I like to be the middle brownie, you know, the one that gets eaten first.
All right. So Agent Crypt, are you staying in the back of the cabin with Marlene or taking her somewhere else?
So we're outside right now. So yeah, I'm gonna keep her. I'm gonna keep her out there with me. I'm not taking her in the car. I'm not doing anything like that.
Okay. So you remain there as the others go to the front door on this cabin. Because you notice there's only one door. It's just the front door. So inside, or is there anything special you want to do approaching this? I won't assume that you're just opening the door. I don't know how cautious you guys want to be.
I'm gonna look towards both McAllister and Caldwell, and I'm gonna say, do either of you have, or are either of you good at close combat or anything to maintain yourself within a close range of any threats?
Well, I can rock a pistol, but as you can see, I'm not exactly Lou Ferrigno.
Okay. I have some slight hand-to-hand combat, though I am not the greatest. If neither of you have it, I'll take points. If you can, one person, stay towards the windows, see if you can get a slight look inside.
Think you can handle that, Chief?
Yep. I'll try and look through the windows and kind of take up the rear.
Other than this, do either of you have any ideas as we enter through here?
Is there other entryway points that we know of to this cabin?
Just the windows.
Okay.
There's a window on each side of the front door.
Okay. If I'll slowly open the door, you keep an eye on the window, and McAllister, you stay behind me just in case if I need assistance. We'll be very quiet. I'm gonna be as quiet as possible in opening this door. Even if it's creaky, I'm still gonna be very quiet with my weapon at the ready.
All right. So you're able to find the key ring. There was a key that you found last time labeled for the cabin.
Yes.
It fits right in the lock. You're able to quietly put that in there, turn the handle, and open the door. And thank you for joining us, Zach Wolf, in the chat there, and appreciate the compliments. So you open that door, and the air inside the cabin is cool and stale. It's eerily quiet in the poorly lit living room with a couch, rug, and a dark fireplace. There's a kitchen you can see is connected on the right, and 2 doors stand against the opposite wall.
Okay, in a very hushed tone, I say, let's start searching. Don't get too far away from each other, but everybody take an area. And I start heading towards the, said there was a kitchen?
Yes.
Okay,
Small kitchen.
I'm gonna shine my light on the floors, any blood or, any like animal remains, things like that.
Okay. And what are the other 2 guys doing here?
I'll be heading towards the fireplace, looking around there, the mantle, seeing if there's any sign of people being around here, if the fire's been lit recently, any pictures that might be up.
Okay. And then who else was in here? Agent Kenrich, what are you doing?
Me, yeah. Was there what was the other places that we saw? The kitchen, the fireplace.
So there's a main living area, a kitchen that's connected, and then you see 2 doors on the opposite wall that are closed.
Okay. So Kenrich is actually going to look around the living area, thinking that may be the place where the ritual took place.
Okay, search skill checks for all of you.
I cannot believe I actually succeeded. What the heck?
Well, okay. All of you find pretty much nothing interesting. So the fireplace itself is dark. There's no evidence of anything having been burned in there anytime recently. It's cold. You can find ashes in there, maybe a couple of small chunks of wood. No evidence of anything unusual being burned in there. Agent Kenrich, you're looking all around in this room for evidence of any sort of rituals, and there's not any that you see. The kitchen is pretty bare. What things there are in there, maybe a couple cans of food, and that's about it. But there's a sink there. It doesn't seem to have running water currently. So nothing found in here so far.
Okay. Let's check these rooms. Preferably one at a time. Also, watch for any loose floorboards if possible.
Yep, I hear you.
Okay. Same as usual. I'll take point. McAllister behind me.
Okay.
And I slowly open the door to the right.
To the right. All right. The rightmost door, you open that slowly, and inside you see a small bathroom. There's a toilet, small stand-up shower, and a sink.
Okay, so I'm assuming only 2 of us can probably comfortably fit in here.
Yeah, and even then it would be tight. It's a small bathroom.
Oh, okay. Well then, I'll just take a quick look around and see if I can see anything.
Okay.
And then
yeah. It is not even. You don't even need a search check for in here. There's nothing in here. Nothing of note. It's pretty bare.
Okay.
There's maybe some aspirin on a shelf, and that's about it.
Okay. I'm going to step out, I'm gonna say keep this door open for now. Let's check the next room. Same as usual. Open
Okay.
now, go to the next door, same thing.
All right, opening that door. This is a bedroom. There is a modest wardrobe standing against the wall, bed against another wall. There's a what open space there is in this room. There's a fairly large rug covering it, a big circular rug, and not much else.
Okay, I step into the room and say, let's search around here.
You all right?
And I'll check under the bed, the drawers, the average places before we look anywhere more intense.
Okay. Everyone go ahead and give me another search roll. Agent K, since you specifically said searching under the bed, you do see that there is a large trunk under there, a footlocker. Looks like a Vietnam-era metal footlocker stowed under the bed.
Okay.
Agent Kenrich,
I did feel my...
you get the idea to flip over the rug, and searching under there, Agent Kingpin, with your rather good roll there, you do notice that there are very, very faint symbols and outlines and things that are drawn into the floorboards of the floor there.
Good thinking. Look at there. That don't look normal. That don't look normal at all. Hey, Boyle, come over here and take a look at this.
I kind of lean down, run my fingers across the floorboards a little bit. Would I have any knowledge of any of these things, or are they pretty, insane to me?
You can do... let's see. I'm still familiarizing myself with some of these skills in this game.
And
I do have a ritual check.
Oh, ritual check. I have an occult check as well. We all do, but
yeah,
I
say
also have ritual. Yeah.
I'd say it would be probably occult. I think rituals for performance of the rituals.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with occult.
Are we all, since we all see the symbols, are we all doing it, or just me?
Yeah, anyone that wants to try and decipher anything.
Kenrich got that occult down.
Okay. Kenrich, let's see here, what can you discern? You can tell that this is definitely some sort of ritual, for sure. You don't recognize any of the particular symbols that the symbol that you drew outside. You can't seem to make any sense of any of these actually being that symbol. But from what you're seeing, everything else does line up with what she's saying, is that she was placed within some sort of circle there. There was some sort of ritual performed, but you don't recognize these symbols as being any of the ones that you would know.
I'm going to kind of sit up and look towards Agent Kenrich, because you're the one that found it, right? Kenrich found this, right? Yeah.
I think Kingpin found it. Well, between me and him, yeah.
Yeah, it was both of us.
Good eye, but I can't quite put a finger on any of these symbols. Can either of you?
Nah.
No, these symbols look like out of my area of expertise. I think Marlene was confused earlier when I showed her that other symbol. I guess to anybody normal, symbols and hieroglyphics, what have you, all look the same.
Okay, if we can take a few pictures of these symbols here, we're going to get a few pictures of Marlene outside as well before we leave. And
they are incredibly faint, making it very hard to discern exactly what any of them are.
If we can, Winchester should have some sort of chalk or something we can outline them with if we want to take a better picture, or one of you can just write the symbols down best we can. I also found this, and I pull the trunk out from under the bed.
Didn't we have a key for that? Didn't we
I
find a key back in his apartment for that?
I believe so. And I kind of like look through my little key ring.
The chest doesn't seem to be locked.
Yeah, I
But
open it up.
before you even open it, you can see that when you pull it out, on top of it, there is a sealed envelope marked with a triangle in green ink.
I just kind of lift the envelope and look very questioningly towards my agents here. I lift the envelope up like, what's this? If we have no idea, do you think we should open this, everyone?
Do what you wish.
Okay, I'm just gonna take a finger and slide it open.
Okay. Should be a handout I'm going to show to you all, and this is the letter that's inside. Would anyone like to read this? If not, I'll read it.
If you are reading this note, I can assume I have died or become incapacitated before I had the courage to complete my final mission. You will find about 20 gallons of gas in the shed behind this cabin. Pour it onto the septic tank beside the cabin and ignite it. Happier if you didn't look inside. Please make sure that the remains are kept from my children. I am so sorry. Please, God, please forgive me. Clyde, blah, blah, I can't remember last name.
Clyde Bowman.
Bowman. I kind of pulled up the note. He wanted to hide what he's done to his wife, but he also seems a little sorry that he did this. I kind of get the note back in the envelope and put it in a little plastic baggie. I assume we're also wearing those gloves, but and I kind of just put it in my pocket or whatever. I look to the rest of them. What do you all make of this?
I don't know. I've never seen anything like this.
It is quite strange. Well,
I think there's more that we're not understanding here. Marlene said that Clyde was trying to make her his slave, but if she was able to recognize a symbol of death that I wrote on the ground outside, it might be that Clyde must have tried to do some sort of ritual and it backfired on him, and what we are now dealing with is an undeath of Marlene, if you get what I'm saying here.
I think I do. We'll show
You guys
this
really
letter.
think so? That's crazy. You really think so?
I think we've all seen our at least share, or at least I assume, of strange things, and that's why we're here. Undeath is something that, though I'm quite skeptical about, is a possibility.
Interesting.
Okay, I'm going to look over. I'm going to open the chest up real easily.
Okay. You open the chest slowly, expecting anything strange to pop out of there. And inside, you see a lot of unusual items. But before I describe any of those, let's go back to Agent Crypt outside. Agent Crypt,
Okay.
You're out back with Marlene. Is there anything in particular you wanted to do while you're back here with her?
Right now I'm still talking with her, seeing if she has a lot of her memories still. Kind of maybe talk politics a little bit, see how she remembers modern day, like when she trying to confirm her story through talking about current events at the time of her going into the septic tank, to see if she can relate with or talk about those events.
Okay.
Basically trying to. I'm not necessarily trying to catch her in a lie. I am making small talk, but it's dual purpose. Like, I'm trying to keep her comfortable, keep her nice and safe, and feel at home, while still making sure that she's sound of mind and not lying about her story.
Okay. Well, I think Hument would be about the closest thing, so let's go ahead and do a Hument roll. I believe there is. I'm just checking to see. I think there's a psychology skill in this game. Maybe there is not. Never mind.
There's a
So
psychotherapy.
yeah, that's different though. That's like this is pretty much the same use as in Call of Cthulhu, where it's for helping with mental illness and stuff. Okay, so I think that Hument is appropriate. Pretty good roll there. So you begin through this process of essentially an interrogation, but kind of cloaking it as something else, just conversation to keep her occupied. And the strangeness that you noticed before is persistent throughout. She seems to be able to provide plenty of information. She has knowledge that Marlene would have. She seems to be a lot more lucid than she's putting on. She doesn't seem to be in the state you would expect from a woman trapped in a septic tank for possibly years.
Right. Okay.
So in other words, it seems like she's playing it up a little bit.
And so, like, when you say she's playing it up, you know, I almost feel that to be malicious more so than I guess I don't see the purpose of her playing that up for any other reason but to keep our guards down. So in that like, at least I don't see that. So in that regard, you know, I'm high alert. Like, I'm ready for her to, you know, try to turn this into her favor. Like, I don't know if I trust this person being a person. I almost feel like this person has become a monster. You know, that's kind of how I'm thinking about this. But I'm not trying to lead that on like she think, you know.
She is persistently also asking about what's going to happen next. So basically, she occasionally, what are you going to take me away from here? Are my children still alive? Can I see Clyde?
All in due time, ma'am. Right now, we have to investigate the cabin. After taking care of that, we'll take you and you know, your family. We all meet up under supervision and custody under our regard once we take care of what we need to do in the cabin.
Oh, how long is that going to take? Can we please take me out of here?
Ma'am, you know, it's going to take some time. I understand that you've been in this septic tank for quite a while. I only ask for just a little bit more patience while we finish what we need to do here. Honestly, ma'am, we did not expect to see anyone alive here, let alone you, the wife of Clyde. So we are all kind of taken aback by it.
Why do you have... And do you have your gun out still? By the way, I assume
I
you
do. I do.
What's that for? Why do you have your gun out? Are we in danger?
Possibly, ma'am. There are all kinds of wildlife out here in the woods, and we don't know if there are any more life forms or anyone else alive in the cabin. So I need to be on high alert at all times. Furthermore, you seem very sound of mind for being in this septic tank for so long. How have you kept sane?
I don't know. I've been in the dark for so long. I don't know how to behave anymore, I guess.
Well, you seem to be behaving just fine, ma'am. I only mean to say that anyone else in your condition wouldn't be sane. I can't say the same for myself, so.
She looks around in the woods, at the cabin, at your gun, at you. It looks like she's trying to make a decision. And I'm gonna let you act if you want, or see what she's gonna do.
She looks like she's gonna make a decision. Okay, so I see that, right? I see her kind of debating this in her head right now, and this is what I want to do. All right. So I want to test her right now. This is me testing her. So what I'm gonna do is, you being a federal agent, you know, I feel like I'm good at this. I'm gonna tell her, ma'am, so you stay here. I'm gonna I need to radio in the situation. My radio is in the car, to HQ. I'll be right back. Just shout if you need me. Yeah, you're safe in our hands. And I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna have my gun kind of lackadaisically, like I'm pretending to not be ready for her to run away, and I'm going to approach my vehicle, just with like almost like an eye behind my shoulder, waiting for her to get up and book it, right?
Okay.
Because if she books it, I have to gun her down. So
yeah, I mean, she seems to agree to that. She just nods kind of solemnly and says, please hurry back. And as you start to turn, you don't get far away before you can hear some rustling, and it's pretty obvious she's standing up and gonna start moving somewhere.
So I hear her rustling. Does she run, or is she just kind of getting up and wandering? Like, how fast is she moving right now?
So, all right, let me set this scene up.
Yeah.
She's there huddled over. She's got that little blanket and stuff, and you've begun walking away. You get maybe close to the edge of the cabin because you have to walk around it to get to your car. When you're about to turn that corner, you hear something, and because you're expecting it, you turn around and see her booking it. You would not expect her, let alone any human, to be able to move this quickly. What do you do?
Right. Taking a shot.
All right.
Can't
roll fire.
Run away.
Dude, roll one. Come on, rip her head off from her shoulders.
Where's 10?
Nice.
Awesome. All right, roll damage.
Gear. Oh, I rolled firearms again for some reason.
Oh, God, I thought you did 36 damage for a second. I was like, what the hell?
So I'm aiming for her. I wanted to aim for her like limbs or hip or something to disable her.
Called shot. We can do that, but it's gonna up the difficulty.
Oh. Okay. Well, sorry. Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that. So what does that mean for me? What do I do then?
So for a called shot, it's gonna up the difficulty. In this case, it'd just be a 20% penalty. So you right-click on the skill, or I think you can right-click on the gun. And you should be able to put in that penalty.
Can we reduce just what he had? Can we just take the 10 already, or do you want to re-roll things?
That's a good point. I was just thinking that as well. So, and we're still learning this game a little bit, so I'll keep that roll since that was a pretty good roll, and even with that penalty, you would have succeeded. So okay, where were you trying to hit? Like in her leg?
So really, I mean, her hips, like something to just shatter her hips. Like something she can't move at all, basically. So her hips, probably, okay. I would say.
All right, you see the bullet tear through. There's an excessive amount of flesh that comes off. No blood though. And you can probably even make out a quick flash of white of bone from the wound. She keeps going. She
taking another shot.
She gets behind a tree, completely behind cover from you, and you hear her call out in a bit of a different voice. Agent Crypt, approach. Slowly.
I am. So I am.
Rather, she didn't say Agent Crypt. Sorry, I just saw the name on the screen and I said Agent Crypt. She just says Agent. Approach slowly.
How do you know my name? Yeah, right. I am approaching slowly. I'm like, who are you? What have you done with Marlene? You
can probably hear like your footsteps crunching the leaves. Stop there.
Yeah.
I am Marlene, and I am not Marlene. If you let me go, I'll give you whatever you want. I have knowledge of many things.
We heard that gunshot in the cabin, right?
Yes, you did. Yeah. You definitely did.
Yeah,
I'll get back to you.
Oh, sorry.
I'm giving him. Yeah. It would take you, a few seconds at least to get out there. So.
Right. I shot. So I'm gonna play with. I'm playing with it right now. I'm toying with the idea. I'm not actually considering this by any means because the job takes priority. But what kind of knowledge?
Whatever you want.
What are you exactly?
Oh. I am what I am. I have been across the cosmos. I have been behind the wall of sleep. I know more than your human mind can comprehend.
What and
I'm sure
what,
you see value in that.
Absolutely do. There's power and knowledge. But what do you want? What do you want with? I know you want to leave, but what's your goal here?
Oh, I want to survive and thrive like any being, mortal or not. And about that
But how
time,
do you
so
thrive?
we'll go back to those inside. So you'd be opening up that chest, starting to maybe browse some of the contents there. But before you can really dive into what things are inside, you hear that gunshot. So agents inside of the cabin, how do you react?
Oh shit! You better get out there. I'm sure that wasn't a hunter in the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not even like questioning it. I'm not even closing the freaking chest. I'm booking. Like, no words are coming out of my mouth. I'm gone.
All right. I'm just putting us in the combat tracker with initiative order, just in case. All right. So about that time, the conversation we were just having with Agent Crypt there, that's when Agent Crypt, you would hear the others coming from behind you.
I want to make it known I'm not going outside. I'm staying in the cabin.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh.
So Agent Kingpin, you stay inside of the cabin. Any particular spot or anything you're doing in the cabin?
Yeah, I'm taking my drone out of my backpack and taking some video footage of these symbols.
Okay, sounds good. Agent K, I know you're going outside. Kenrich, are you joining Agent K outside?
I was while he was looking through the trunk, and after you read that letter, I was actually trying to doodle those symbols down and keep note of what they were. But if once I heard that gunshot, I would probably stand up and be like, "You got this, right, Kingpin?" And and then book it outside.
Call me Kingpin, McAllister.
Right, McAllister. Yeah.
So the agents are approaching me then, or
Yeah, it sounds like Kenrich and K are behind you. So you hear two sets of footprints approaching behind you.
Right. I hold up my
real
hand
quick,
like this.
and the okay, never mind. Alpha Wolf Zero handled it, but yeah, I was just gonna say, respond to the chat there. We are based in the current era, somewhat, a little bit in the past. It is currently the year 2000. It's the April 2nd, I believe, the year 2000. Actually, probably April 3rd now, because it's around midnight, 1 a.m. Very dark at this cabin in southern Ohio. So yes, go ahead, take it away, agents.
I hold up my hand, and I look back at the agents just to acknowledge that they know I know that they're there, and then I ask the question again: how do you thrive?
How do I thrive? I thrive on the blood and souls of you, of anything.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, fucking, of course you do.
But I have that now, and what's done is done. So let me go.
I'm afraid I can't let you go. Let's make this quick and easy for you.
Dude, I hate it when love stories end like this.
So then at that point, I am moving in quickly, and what I'm doing is this. So this is what I'm doing. I'm running in, right, and I am pointing, like, I'm using hand signals to indicate to Kenrich and to Kay to surround the area of like hit each flank while we're approaching this guy.
Oh yeah. So
that we're surrounding this thing, basically.
Okay, sure,
yeah,
makes sense.
I'll I'll take left if Caldwell takes right.
All right. And so as you approach, it seems that the thing that used to be Marlene realizes what's happening. And she rushes out from behind the tree, not away from you this time, but towards you.
Yep. Taking as many shots as I can.
All right. So initiative order, Agent Crypt, she is unnaturally fast. This corpse, it's moving so fast that you literally see some parts of flesh and things stripping away and flying off of her as she's moving. She does one of the, like a quick twirl from out of the tree and just books straight at you, trying to pull your gun out of your hand. All right, and with the disarm action, I just had a thought. I don't remember if you can fight back against that. I guess it's considered an attack, so would you like to try and dodge or fight back?
Definitely, yeah. So what I'm going to try to do is fight back and stop that basically from happening here. I don't want her to. What I want to do is when she's coming in and grabbing my gun, I want to be able to pull away from it in time and take a shot, basically timing it just right.
Fighting back is going to have to be either unarmed or melee weapons, because essentially she's closed the gap so quickly and is actively trying to take that gun. There's almost no way you're going to be able to get a shot off and actually hit her.
Okay, no problem. So instead I'll do unarmed, but the unarmed rationale is going to be I pull the gun back and I stick my elbow out.
Okay, unarmed combat. Oh wow. You got success, but you can see how her roll is one less than yours. She gets close up to you. You make contact with that elbow, but it's just not enough against her, and it kind of slides up her arm, sloughs off some of that skin, and her other hand comes up and swipes that gun out of your hand, and it flies off into like a pile of leaves or something nearby. So that's her action for the turn. Agent Crypt, fighting back was actually your action for the turn. So the way combat works in this game, you get one action per turn, and turn meaning is basically what you would call like a round in D&D. So this entire turn, your one action is fighting back. Now, if there were other enemies, that one roll you did would also oppose every other enemy's attacks. So just keep that in mind. But so because of that, we go to Agent Kenrich next to see what his action is.
With Agent Crypt being so close, Agent Kenrich is going to actually try and charge this thing and possibly, I guess it would be unarmed combat to try and attack it, to try and get it on the ground, basically. He's going to try and spear this thing.
That would be a pen attack. So that is in the rules reference in Foundry if you need to see any of that stuff. But a pen attack, unarmed combat roll. And both of your hands have to be free, so you'll need to holster your weapon for that.
Oh my god, a bloody gore from Rhino.
Yeah, I wasn't, my pistol was on my side already, so I wasn't carrying that. There we go.
All right, let's see. That was a success at 23. She already took her action this turn, and since that was a disarm attack, I don't believe those actually count towards the like the defensive roll for the rest of the turn, so she doesn't get to oppose that. So you successfully pinned Marlene against the ground. Is there how do you do that?
So basically, if I was coming in from the right hand side and I see that Marlene had charged Agent Crypt, at that same point I would be taking off, and when I see this altercation between Crypt and her, I'm probably behind her, and what I'm doing is I'm coming from the side and getting her at the hip where she was already shot and putting her down to the ground, hopefully with like her face to the ground.
Okay, yeah, you slam her into the ground, and it's like a wet sponge, her body. It's absolutely disgusting. And you guys notice, especially Agent Crypt, that gun wound on her side, looks like it's kind of puckered up in a sense. Like, it doesn't look like a typical gun wound, or there's even really much damage there anymore. But now you're now on top of Agent Kenrich is on top of Marlene, and she's pinned down, trying to squirm underneath you, screaming stuff like, "I'll swallow your soul."
Disgusting.
So Agent K, your turn.
I'll swallow your soul.
Watch me their souls.
So I'm going to, noticing that, I'm going to run up and just, I don't want to shoot my gun with my ally so close, so I'm going to go up and I'm going to try to hit her as hard as I can with the butt of my light pistol.
Okay. We'll say that's melee weapons then.
Sweet.
And you get plus 20 because she's pinned.
Then I still fail.
67. Yeah, it'd still be a fail, and it's a critical failure.
What?
So in this game,
I thought it was only but I get plus 20, so it wouldn't be a critical failure, right?
it would be a critical failure because in this game, if you fail and the failure roll is the same number on each D10, it's a critical fail.
Oh.
Likewise, if you succeed and each number is the same, it's a critical success.
Oh.
So with your critical failure, you run up and you go to slam this gun right into her head, and you do. You hit her right in the head, but something about the angle you hit and that disgusting flesh around her, and she's writhing on the ground, your gun gets knocked out of your hand and scatters somewhere off to the side.
Oh, damn. I'm just gonna look at my hands and be like,
Agent Kingpin, you're up. What are you doing inside now? You've gotten some footage of the ritual circle, the faint remains of it.
Great. So I got those pics of those portions of video. I'm going to walk towards a window that's hopefully where I can hopefully see this bunch dealing with Marlene. Is that true? Is there a window that I could access like that?
There are windows. You're trying to get a view of the whole combat in the backyard, basically.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say there's a window in the kitchen that does look out into the backyard.
Okay. And Kingpin's gonna take his bird and he's gonna open the window and he's gonna put that thing in the sky. And what he's trying to do is he wants to get some good video footage of Marlene, and he's also wanting to scout the perimeter, make sure we're not our gunshots in the middle of the night here aren't soliciting any unwanted visitors.
Okay. Roll a search for that, unless you think there's a more appropriate skill. Or actually, you have a skill specifically for this. Use your pilot skill for your drone.
Okay. Yeah.
So everyone would hear the window on the back of the cabin open up, and the rotors of that drone fire up and fly off up above. All right, success. You're able to send your drone up, pilot around the woods a little bit, and you can tell that there's the next, I mean, even the road itself, the main road itself is a couple miles away. The next closest cabin is also 2 to 5 miles away. You don't have an exact measurement, but it's pretty remote out here. And it's remote enough, there's enough wilderness that a single gunshot could easily be taken as a hunter.
Right. Somebody playing around outside. All right, cool. Then, yeah, I continue to get footage of Marlene for the rest of my turn here.
All right, so Marlene is going to make an attempt to escape. In that case, it is... She gets to choose either unarmed combat or a strength check.
Yeah, but she's going to roll an 88 and fail, so it doesn't even matter.
She's going to roll a strength check here. Yeah, that's successful. So
what's that mean?
It's
Target
opposed
21
by the pinning character's attack roll against your agent. So okay, so Agent Kenrich, I need you to do an opposed either strength or unarmed combat. And what was that, Agent K?
Oh, I just saw target. It says target like 21 near the Marlene thing, and like target 80. Like I just saw target on the thing.
Target for success, yeah.
Okay.
In this case, 21, because it was a stat, 21 is her strength.
Okay.
I'm just gonna,
Oh,
I'm not
God.
even hiding all that from you. Yeah, because it's pretty obvious she's very inhuman in the way she's moving. Yeah, Zach Wolf pointed out the little inhuman in brackets because it's very obvious. Wow, Agent Kenrich, good roll. So success and way less than her. It feels like she's about to buck up and completely throw you off of her, and you just grasp a hold of her and you're able to kind of, roll her onto the ground and keep her pinned. But you can tell it feels like you're fighting with like a large animal. This doesn't feel like you are wrestling with a human at all. One slip up and she's going to easily overpower you. All right, so Agent Crypt, it is now your turn. Marlene is still pinned. And remember, plus 20 on any attacks to a pinned attacker.
Yep.
Or pinned target.
Did anyone find anything about this thing in the house? Anything we should know about?
No, some symbols on the ground, but nothing of note as of right now.
No, I meant metagaming, not the fucking thing where he says burn him alive. No, not that one. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna go and pick up my gun. Can I shoot with my gun still?
Roll a search check.
Oh, ooh.
Nice, success. You find both your gun and Agent K's gun.
All right. Can I wait, Agent K? Can I toss my gun to Agent K? The other one? Is that possible without?
Yeah, you can do that. I'm gonna.
All right,
I'm gonna basically say that's your action for this turn, though. Is searching for your gun. You just happen to see his gun, toss it to him, and now next turn you'll be ready to use it.
Okay.
So this game, compared to Call of Cthulhu, this game is like the turns are very shortened usually.
Right.
All right, so Agent Kenrich, you are up. I don't think your opposed roll takes your action this turn. So you can try and attack her, or is there something else you'd like to do? What are you doing for your turn?
I would think that if she's that strong and I'm feeling that, I think I'm just going to try and keep restraining her until we either get a better way to restrain her or we just neutralize this thing. Like, I think that's all that he's going to try and do.
Yeah, keeping her pinned. I get it. All right, Agent K, you've had your gun tossed to you. What is your action for the turn?
Okay, so I've had my gun tossed towards me.
Yeah.
Okay, since on me again, I'm just gonna go again, try to smack her head with my pistol whip again. I really don't want to punch some spongy meat with my hand.
All right, another melee weapons
And that's
check.
and you said that's a plus 20.
Yes.
Can I get? Oh, I see. Okay, got it.
Yeah, just right click on it. It should give you the option. Nice. All right, roll your damage.
Where
that would
is
be
the damage on a?
Good question. What is the damage of unarmed? I believe it is like 1d4 or something.
Yes, it's 1d4. So maybe just 1d4 plus 2 plus 1.
We'll just do a straight 1d4 and then your damage bonus, of course.
Okay, I'm looking. I don't believe I do. I don't think I do. So just 1d4 then?
You would only have a damage bonus. What is your strength?
10.
10.
But
so
would it be doing? Huh?
Would it what?
Oh, sorry. No, you continue. I was just wondering, like, if a pistol whip does slightly more damage than unarmed, or if they're the same in this. I'm not quite sure.
I'm actually gonna say it's 1d6. Just roll a 1d6. We'll do that damage.
Okay, 1d6.
Yeah.
3.
I was just trying to find the some tables here. I really need to get like the screen for this one, so I have all the tables in front of me. So melee
Okay,
weapons,
so-
brass knuckles or a steel-toed boot is actually 1d4. It says, but we'll stick with the 1d6 for now. That's fine. All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna lift up my pistol. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna lift up my pistol, and then right when we go down, I'm actually gonna take a knee right into her skull and say, "Just stop moving!"
All right, so you're smacking her head with that as Agent Kenrich has her pinned, and she can't really move her head too much. And you hit it, a few quick smacks that would probably render any human unconscious. It doesn't seem to have done anything at all to her.
Oh,
Like, she's not even paying attention to that hit you just landed.
Okay.
So up next would be Agent Kingpin. You got that bird's eye view on your drone. Anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, I figure we got all the footage I need. We take her down, and you said it was rope that we pulled her up from the sewer from, right? Wasn't a ladder, it was a rope.
Yeah, there's some rope
All right.
laying out there still.
I'm gonna go grab it and run towards Marlene
All right.
and
so
see if we can't hog tie her.
You've landed your drone and grabbed the rope, and then maybe next turn you'll have the chance to do that.
Right.
So turn 3, Marlene is up again, going to try and do another escape from this pin. All right, Kenrich, would you like to oppose that with either strength or unarmed combat?
Yeah, he's gonna try and oppose it. He's gonna be like, "Settle down, Missy. This ain't my first rodeo." And he's gonna be like hinting to the fact that he used to be a rodeo.
All right. So you're still able to keep her down. Maybe it's something about just exactly. You've got some sort of skills that lend you a hand here. Maybe the leaves you're rustling around in aren't giving her enough, purchase on the ground to really get up and throw you off yet. But she's pinned. So Agent Crypt, you're up.
Okay. So she's pinned. I'm going to approach where she's pinned and just try to put as many bullets in her brain as I possibly can.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your firearm skill plus 20 on that because she's pinned. I'm sorry, because you said, so are you doing a called shot basically, right?
I guess I'll just shoot her. I don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to shoot
because
her.
it's either shoot any available spot you can see, or if it'd be a called shot if you want to do specifically in the head.
No, I'll just shoot whatever I can because he's got her pinned.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah. So you've got your gun up, and as Kenrich is wrestling around with her, you get a couple chances where he's able to expose part of her, and you fire off a few rounds, and they smack into her torso. Maybe one clips her shoulder, and it looks like the bullets just kind of sunk into her flesh.
Okay. My shots aren't doing a damn thing.
Yes, I can see that. Maybe the gasoline, I yell out.
My damn ears are ringing. Why the hell did you do that?
Yeah, exactly. That was loud in close quarters, and there's the scent of gun smoke in the air now, and the shell casings you can hear spattering on the dead leaves. Agent Kenrich, you've got her pinned right now. Is there anything else you'd like to try and do?
I'm gonna keep her pinned until we can come up with a way to neutralize or fix the situation here. Probably trying to pop my jaws, get that ring out of my ears.
Who did that?
All right, so Agent K, it's your turn.
Okay, so I just said, I'm like, what about the gasoline? As I kind of like rush past Winchester, I'm actually going to toss him a flint and steel I use for some of my explosives, and then I'm going to say, get ready with that, I'm going to get gasoline. and then I'm going to run towards the cabin to grab one of the containers.
Okay, yeah, you're able to do that. So you've got that container, and you'll have that next turn.
Awesome.
Agent Kingpin, you've got that rope. What would you like to do?
Yeah, so Kingpin's coming in. He's got the rope. He can't really. He's still got the ears ringing from where Winchester here just shot off his rounds. He's going to see that Boyle is running off. He's gonna get next to Kenrich and he's gonna say, "Give me your wrist. Give me your arms. I got this." And he's gonna try to hog tie her.
All right. Trying to see. I don't think there's any specific skill for this, so I might just have you do. I'm gonna say just a straight up dex test.
Oh yeah, I'm right here.
And you should be able to just click under your, so it's the physical tab in your sheet, and then just click the dex word. All right. You get the, and actually, I'm going to make that plus 20. Not that it really makes you successful, but plus 20 since she's pinned. So you're able to at least get the rope all around her, but it's not, it's visibly not bound well at this point.
Keep her still, numbnuts!
So back to Marlene. She's going to attempt again to break free. 50. Success. Agent Kenrich, are you opposing?
Oh, yeah. Oh!
Wow. Good rolls.
Nice.
Getting lucky so far. All right, so you.
I am keeping her still. Where'd you learn to tie?
Agent Crypt, you're up.
Okay. All right. Keeping her still. Do we have that gasoline yet? Maybe we should.
Yeah, I have it right here. I have it in my hand as you can see me starting to. I just picked it up. I've turned around. I've almost gotten that way.
All right. And I have my lighter from my corncob pipe that I smoke all the time. I have that ready to go. So I pull that out, holster my weapon, grab the gasoline, and I'm like, I'm looking at Kenrich and I'm looking at Kingpin and I'm, all right, I'm waiting on you guys to move.
Stuff it in her mouth. Put it in her mouth.
I'm trying to dump it. I'm dumping it. Gasoline all over her. Much as that down her mouth.
Both Kenrich and Kingpin are trying to pin her and tie her up, so it's going to get gasoline like all over you guys too. So keep that in mind. But you can try and do that if you'd like.
I didn't think humans were flammable, only like monsters.
Sure. Well, I'm looking at the assessing situation, and I'm like, how bad is this going to be for Kenrich and
you can always
Kingpin, really?
Hold your turn to go later. If you...
All right, I'll hold my turn then. I'll wait for them to do it. I'll let them know that's my intention. So.
Okay.
My turn was just giving him the gasoline, wasn't it?
That was basically like your last turn, so you haven't gone yet.
Oh, okay.
Agent Kenrich, was there anything you wanted to do other than keep her pinned?
So, to make this easier, I'm going to try and, I guess, lift her, like get her in a headlock and then lift her up, like lift her back. So that way, because my thinking is we could stuff something in her mouth, light it on fire, and yeah, that's my thinking.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and
give me an unarmed combat
lean
roll.
her back.
And if you succeed, we'll say that's giving you even more advantage towards that. Okay, there you go. All right, you're able to pick her up off the ground, and now you've got her, you know, in a hold like that. That rope is still kind of loosely bound around her, but it's not really doing anything. So Agent K, you're up. You've already, your last turn, you got the gas cans. Pass those off to Agent Crypt. What would you like to do?
Okay, I kind of get the gist of what he's doing here, putting us up, and also said, we heard him say like, light her head on fire and stuff. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm going to quickly like tear off the sleeve of my arm and bunch it up and just try to stuff it in her mouth.
Okay. As you go to do that, Marlene kind of goes limp in your arms, Agent Kenrich. Not entirely limp, but her strength suddenly seems diminished. Like she's not struggling anymore, and she begins to sob. And before you shove that in her mouth, Agent K, she says, I'm still in here. Please don't.
I look at her straight in the eye, and I get a solemn, like, face. And I say, I don't care. And I shove it right in her mouth.
Sanity check.
Ah, you punk.
Some sanity checks might come after combat, but something like that I'm gonna do right away. Wow, okay. You keep it together.
My guy is, like, not quite, but he is dang close to being, like, almost a sociopath at this point, so.
I'm gonna say 1 point of sanity loss for that, even though it's success.
Yep.
But you're able to, you've basically turned her into a Molotov cocktail, minus the gas that's not in there yet.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna step away, like, very
Okay.
obviously, wait for the fireworks.
Agent Kingpin, what would you like to do? Are you muted?
Yeah, I was.
There you are.
So,
Okay.
well, obviously these boys don't want to apprehend this thing and take it in. Cool guys don't look at explosions. I'm turning around, throwing my toothpick at her, and walking away.
All right. So Marlene takes one more chance to try and break out. So that strength suddenly surges back unexpectedly. Agent Kenrich, would you like to try and keep her restrained?
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
Oh, what?
That was a close one. All right.
That was a close one.
But you keep her pinned. You've still got her there. She starts struggling against you. She's like mumbling and stuff now that she's got that cloth stuck down in her mouth. And I imagine you jammed it down probably, you know, into her throat to keep it really sealed in there.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't seem to be affecting her at all. She doesn't care.
And
Crit.
as I'm like restraining her, and it'd be like, your soul is mine, bitch, and like like just keep holding on to her. Sorry, just had to throw in that Mortal Kombat reference.
No, that's fine. So yeah, Agent Crypt, you're up.
All right. She's there. I got my lighter. I guess she's a Molotov cocktail. Guess we're gonna ignite it.
She doesn't have the
Wait.
gas, or did you already pour the gasoline in there last turn? Is that
Oh,
what you're doing?
I guess sorry. I am now. So now I'll pull the gas, light it.
So you never interrupted it with your what your held action was going to be, so I forgot to ask about that. So we'll say you did pour that in there. There's give me a dex check actually for doing that while she's struggling.
A dex check.
What I thought was doing was I thought you were pouring the gasoline on the stuff I ripped off and I shoved it in her mouth. Is what I thought was happening.
We'll say both if you'd like.
Okay, sure.
Sweet.
Awesome. Overkill, I guess.
Overkill.
Wait, where's dex?
It'd be under the physical tab, and then you click dex.
Thanks.
That's like one of the main reasons why I stepped back.
Well,
I thought I would have gasoline all over my hands.
Okay. So you get gasoline on that rag, you get gasoline down her throat, you get gasoline on Kenrich, you get gasoline on yourself, the ground around you, it's just all over the place.
All right.
Necessary.
So at that point, I rip my maybe I can't rip my shirt off that quickly, but I'm trying to light this lighter and toss it at her, or light the thing on her, whatever I can to like make sure I try not to get gas. I'm trying to avoid the gasoline on myself and my friends as much as I can.
Okay. So Agent Crypt is a smart guy. He would probably know that the fumes are what lights on gasoline and not the liquid itself. But would you like to go ahead and still try and light that?
Dude, I'm just saying though, like, okay, he's robotic in the other game. We can make him something cool in this one too. Like,
yeah, let's start.
Oh my God! Should I do? The question is, should I do this? And
No,
the answer,
Come back as
don't do this.
Freddy freaking Krueger after this.
no.
yeah, the answer is no. So I'm like,
best thing-
there's too much gas everywhere. Maybe if so a gunshot might combust it, right?
Maybe. Possibly.
Okay, so
it's much less likely to, but yeah.
all right. So then I'm not gonna light it this turn. I'm going to just pull back and wait for Kenrich to get clear, so that I can light it. So can I hold that? I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. And she still has
that
that
action.
the rope kind of loosely around her. So yeah, I'll consider you holding your action. Agent Kenrich, was there anything else you wanted to do?
No. Oh, Kenrich.
With this gasoline being on him, I think what he's going to try and do.
You could probably.
No, he's just going to try and keep hold of him because he's afraid that if she gets loose, there's going to be chaos.
All right.
So,
Agent K, what do you do?
I'm gonna go behind. I'm gonna be behind Caldwell, and I'm gonna grab him by the shoulders, and I'm just gonna say, "On 3, let go so we can light her ablaze." And I'm gonna try to rip him off of her. 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna try to like drag him as fast, like him pushing off and me ripping together to get him as far away from the body as possible as he drops the flame onto her body and just bursts. Hopefully, is what I'm hoping.
Okay. Do a dex check. Unless you think there's something more appropriate.
My name is already Dex. God. Can I do like a can I get like some sort of advantage since I'm trying to have him help me do it, not just me perfectly doing it?
Yeah. I'll say you get a 20% bonus on that. That's fine. As long as that's what if Agent Kenrich is going along with it.
Yeah, I assume. If you're not, just tell me. I'll just do the normal one myself.
yeah, he's just gonna trust him, I guess, and just push. As he pulls me back, he's gonna try and push her to make her fall, I guess, so that way she doesn't have enough time to.
Okay, I'm gonna say
away.
it's athletics. Actually, I think that's more appropriate. So athletics,
Thank you.
20% bonus on that.
Thank you so much for saying athletics, because I was about to cry if you said Dex. Yeah, with
Okay.
the 20%, I have a 100 in athletics.
Success. As far as you can tell, you're far enough away from her, and all the gasoline on the ground should be not caught in the blaze. So does that mean, Agent Crypt, you would like to take your turn now, or are you still holding?
Yep, and I want to let her ablaze.
Okay. So you spark that up. Roll a luck check.
Baby.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, boy.
Because you had a chance of lighting yourself on fire too. You do
I
something
knew.
just right. You hold it. You hold the igniter like way up high or something, and then
as a
toss
kid,
it
that's
on
in
her.
another life.
Roll athletics to see if you're able to throw it and hit her. Basically, thrown weapons are athletics checks.
Oh, well, Godspeed, guy. Is there any luck I can, or is there anything I can do to help with this?
Not really. Unless you aim. Oh, nice.
Okay.
All right. So we'll say, what was this? Did you say a flint and steel or something, or is it like I was thinking
I
a
think
Zippo lighter?
kind of vibe. Zippo vibe. So
I had a
click,
flint steel. I just didn't know
drop.
he had a lighter.
Okay. Well, Zippo sounds cooler, so let's go with the Zippo.
Yeah.
You light the Zippo, holding it up above your head, hoping that it doesn't ignite anything, and then whip it straight at her. It spirals through the air and smacks right against her chest, and immediately just up in flames. The rag in her mouth is lit on fire, and you can see, you're sure that's spreading down her throat too. Now that Kenrich and Agent K have both backed away, they are not included in the blaze. The ground around her lights on fire, and she just throws her arms wide, and the ropes come off of her. Those are burning also, and she just screeches into the air, and she is absolutely set ablaze. Agent Kingpin, you haven't taken your action yet. What would you like to do?
So Agent Kingpin feels the burst of flames on his back. It warms him up. Then he takes a big whiff and realizes that there's still gas in the air despite the smell of fire in the air too. And he looks back and sees his friends drenched. The fuck? Get away from her! What are you doing? Oh my god! Yo. These flames they're gonna touch these trees. Ain't you ever watched Smokey the Bear? They're gonna touch these trees. And I play fireman and start pissing on the corpse of the dead Marlene.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh. Wait, as per usual, should we roll Constitution to see how much piss he can get?
No, I was just wondering if there's any roll we could even do for this. I think I'm just gonna let you go ahead and do that. You're able to you know, you aim perfectly, and you're realizing that it's not really doing anything at all because she's lit on fire with gasoline, and it's not really helping.
No. I didn't really think it was gonna put it out. It was more like a demoralizing kind of thing.
I figured.
Yeah.
You aim perfectly.
Crip's got a big gulp in the car that we could use, to put this fire out.
I like
gulp.
Zach Wolf in the chat. Are we the bad guys? All right. So that's Agent Kingpin's turn. It comes back to Marlene. She was, as I said, just screeching into the air. She rips that cloth still ablaze on her hands out of her mouth and tries to throw it at Agent Kenrich and Agent K, who are still standing probably right up against each other as they had, hit Agent K. You grabbed Kenrich and pulled back away. So let's see.
Wait, what's she throwing at us?
The burning rag that was in her mouth. God. She ripped it out and is throwing it at you.
Oh.
So would you like to try and dodge that?
Both of us or him?
Both of you. I'm gonna say Kenrich is probably the target, but you're both like basically on top of each other, and it has a possibility to hit either one of you.
Yeah, I'm dodging.
Yep, I'm gonna have to try and dodge this. Oh!
Fuck.
All right, Agent K, you're able to jump out of the way. Agent Kenrich, you probably just got too much gasoline on you. The ground's a little soaked from that, and you slip as you're trying to get out of the way, and that ball of fire smacks right against your arm, and your whole arm, your right arm, just catches on fire as some of the gasoline that was on you. So you take 2 points of damage for the moment, but you are actively on fire. All right, so we've got Marlene on fire. There's some fire on the ground. Agent Kenrich is starting to catch it on fire, and Kingpin is over there. He's probably just finishing up his piss. We've got Agent K, you've just dodged out of the way, and Crypt, it is now your turn, but we've reached just about the 2-hour mark. So I think we're gonna go ahead and stop it there. We've got some of our players have plans right after this session, so I don't want to keep them any longer. So I appreciate you all all of the viewers, all of the players. Sorry I had to leave it on such a cliffhanger, though I do prefer doing that usually. So we'll see next session what's going to happen with Marlene, whether or not she's going to get away or maybe kill you all. Or some other outcome. We'll see. But I would just like to remind you that Delta Green is not about guns. Delta Green is not about a bug hunt. Delta Green is not about understanding either. But Delta Green is about the end. And that's the